Dell's a good reflection of his parents and his sisters, all four of them. Friendly, enjoys being around people, good conversations, always positive. You hear very few complaints and all from Dell. Excellent work ethic. When Jack and Juanita worked at General Electric in Waynesboro, and they left Dell babysitting by his four sisters. The story goes that sometimes Dell got in their way, so he was shoved outside and the door was locked. And that's how I think Jack decided that maybe he ought to have something outside for Dell so that he could be occupied, so he put up a basketball goal. So Dell's shooting started at an early age, and maybe not by choice, but by necessity. I don't know a lot about the barn, other than the fact that it was an open area, for any of the guys to come and shoot in. Yeah, there was no heat in it, or there was no air conditioner in it. Just good lighting and opportunity. Dell attests to spending a lot of time there. A lot of people think shooting is just talent. Shooting is a learned skill. I guess it was. The McDonald's Classic in DC, that was the first indication that Dell was something special.
I knew I had a skill set. I went to drafted by Utah, heavy veteran-laden team.
48-45. Beginning play tonight, the Warriors began, and Curry throws a three-pointer up way out. I mean, he was way out there. Dell Curry shot that thing on a three-pointer.
Got to Cleveland, got my feet wet in the league, found out how to play in the league, played with a lot of young players.
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and he was a member of my Cavaliers for 1 year. And to me, it was like a dream team because I knew all about him. He was a McDonald's All-American. He was a fantastic college player, and he could shoot. And I've always been attracted to the shooters. And he played for my Cavaliers, and I was like, oh my God, this is the final piece that we need. And then the expansion draft happened, and he went to Charlotte.
Somehow Dell had a story already going in this market.
The city of Charlotte and the fans kind of watched Dell grow from college all the way up to he started playing for Charlotte.
Kind of knew ahead of time. My agent was all over that. Jeff Foster's been my agent still to this day since the time I was drafted. He was all over it. And pretty much when I knew Cleveland was not going to protect me, he said, you're going to be one of the first couple off the board. So either Miami or Charlotte. So I knew it was my third year in the league, third team. I knew I had to get it right. I was happy to come here. Knew a new team, new players, new expansion. I knew I'd have opportunity.
Well, we both was hungry. Dell was going into his third year. I was coming off my first year. But we knew that we was one of the youngest, myself, him, and Rex Chapman. So we just had this special bond.
It was amazing. I was, coming straight out of college. Dell and Muggsy just took me under their wing.
When we was here, we just felt like this was something that we trying to embrace, but we wanted to, showcase what type of player that we capable of being.
But to tell you what kind of a guy Dell is, I was the first pick in the college draft. Dell was the first pick in the expansion draft. This guy who we played the same position was just so selfless in every way, both on and off the court. Meant the world to me, still does mean the world to me, and for that to be the first guy on the team that I ever met, it's something special.
Hello, Charlotte, and welcome to the National Basketball Association. I'm Jim Forrest, thrilled to be part of this historical night, Charlotte's debut into the big leagues of professional basketball.
Yeah, I probably had a better perspective and more of a feeling of what it was really like more than the guys playing in the game. I had broken my wrist, first practice ever. The Hornets, Kenny Fields pushed me, broke my fall, broke my wrist, long story short. So I was in a cast. So I was able to take that entire night in and watch everybody in the tuxedos, the women in the gowns. I was kind of a fan myself when watching my teammates play. So I had a different experience than the guys actually in the game trying to win and beat a good Cleveland team. I knew the city was going to embrace us. You never know what it's going to be like, your first game on an expansion team, but I knew the city, we were in a good spot as far as fan-wise. Losing by 40 points and leaving the floor to a standing ovation, and every seat in the house was full from the opening tip to the last buzzer. So I knew Charlotte was the right place for NBA, and we just had to, improve as players and as a team.
27 seconds left in the game, 14 on the shot clock. The Hornets will get one last crack at it. They've got to play defense here. Teagle in the corner, brings it out on the dribble. 5 on the shot clock, 3 on the shot clock. Defense by Bold, stalled, no time left on the shot clock. 24-second violation. Great play by Muggsy Bogues. Timeout, Hornets, 14 seconds left. We're going to hold it.
Dick Carter had drawn up a play for Rex, coming off the right wing down screen. And everybody else was going to be a decoy, and Muggsy being the point guard that he is, we broke the huddle, and immediately Muggsy comes to me and goes, "That's not going to work, man."
As a point guard, you kind of a little extension of the coach, and I had a great pulse of the game, a good idea of what was happening out there, and I just felt that play wasn't going to, work in terms of how they was playing us and what would need to be done. So, I kind of gave Dell his instruction of what he needed to do.
They're going to be expecting that. This is what we're going to do. You're in the opposite corner. I'm going to act like I'm running the play, but I'm not going to give it to Rex. I'm going to turn. Your guy's going to be off of you because he's going to be helping because everything is going to the right. I'm going to get by my guy, which he always did. I'm going to get by my guy. Your guy's going to try to stop the ball. I'm going to kick it to you. If I give it to you, you're going to make it, right? Of course I'm going to make it.
Unfortunately, his guy left him, and I caught him in the corner, and he hit 3 for the game winner.
Fires to Curry, shot at the buzzer, good!
A three-pointer.
It's a three-pointer. The Hornets win.
It's over.
Made it, game winner. I think a lot of people didn't think it was a three-pointer. We were down 2, but it was a 3.
And that's something that we always remember. It's a fond memory of both of ours, during that time.
Yeah, Dick Carter was excited because Muggsy really sold the fact that he was trying to run the play that Dick Carter drew up. So Dick was very excited, and I can't tell you exactly what he said, but he goes, "Curry, you got some big ones on you." First playoff run against the Celtics here at home, the crowd was probably the most joyous, excited, most energy that we've seen in the building up to that point. It was so exciting. Everybody really had to calm your nerves and play the game. It was very exciting. Obviously, my best playoff game. We needed everyone. The Celtics were a very good team, so it was a lot of fun.
103-102, Boston.
First of all, I was the guy taking the ball out. We had no timeout, so coach absolutely have to trust the guy that's given the job to take the ball out with no timeouts. You got to throw it in, and you got to have that internal clock in your head. So I knew that's a big job. The play was actually to Larry Johnson to come off to the left wing, and I was supposed to get it to him. Run the play, and I saw Robert Parrish leave Alonzo and go kind of double Muggsy because I'm faking like I got to get it to Larry Johnson. And I see Robert Parrish. I'm like, dude, Larry's not open, and there's Alonzo. So I threw it right to Alonzo. So I threw it to him. Everybody else was kind of out of the play, so I was the first one to get on top of the pile there. So that's a big moment as well.
And up off the bench, Dell Curry. This guy can fill it up, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that was a big year. I think I'd finished second or third before that time and knew I had a good year. We didn't make the playoffs, so I'm like, wow, when is that going to come out? And I remember the Hornets PR guy, Harold Kaufman, calling me. I was actually in a car, and he was calling me, and my thought was, gosh, he's calling me to tell me I finished second again. He goes, Dell, good news, you won. I'm like, what? So that was a great accomplishment.
Picked up by Bennett. Off to Curry. Great shooter on the fly. Great shooter on the fly.
Oh, see, that shouldn't happen. Nice help here by Armin. Here's Curry for 3. 9 points for Curry off the bench, and the Hornets have opened up an 18-point lead.
Obviously, my teammates had a lot to do with that. Not making the playoff run that year, but still being able to be counted on every single night off the bench and having the year I did was very exciting. You know, I'd been building my identity up to that point, the game winner, making shots. The fans had come to trust that I was a guy when they left my hand, they had a good chance of going in. But that just validated everything. Not only to the fans here in the Hornets, but to the league as well, just to say how important that sixth man is. But I also got my teammate, Hersey Hawkins, who started that year, and I would finish a lot of the games. He was one of the best teammates that I had in that regards. Most guys at the start think they're going to finish the game, but I was the one finishing a lot of games, and Hersey was totally okay with it. He's a great teammate, team guy, so he was a big part of me being able to play and have that kind of year. On the road, man, we're playing Chicago, MJ Prime on the road. We had a really good team that year. LJ, Matt Geiger, and Glenn Rice. We had some really good players that year. One, I'm a little embarrassed that Brown was able to block my shot, but he's on my shooting side, so he didn't get a piece of it. Able to get it back, and then Scotty tries to rip it, and I flopped a little bit. He did foul me, but I made sure that I sold the foul.
This is the foul on Pippen that will send Curry to the line.
And then to be able to make two, we're down one and needed both of them to go in. Made the first one, that was the hardest one, and then switched the other one. But I like my finish after I made that second one, let everybody know, yeah, we need one stop and we'll get out of here with a win.
Snapping a 44-game winning streak by the Bulls on their home floor.
That's definitely a We Belong team, a We Belong franchise. All the hard work and struggles that you go through to get to that point made it all worthwhile. Yeah, I had great teammates. We were a bunch of high IQ basketball guys. We all understood when the guys got it, we need to help them continue to keep it, and they all did that.
Here's Curry, nice feed from Muggsy Bogues. You want to see what Muggsy gives this offense? I give you evidence. Looking for Curry off a down screen set by Divac, and Dell is white hot for two, but Dell's hit his last three.
I remember running down the floor, and Larry Johnson like, come on my side. And Muggsy setting the whole team up, thinking, I'm going to come off one way, and he knows I'm going to go the other way.
10th rebound. Curry, guarded by Davis, backs away, it doesn't matter. 2:05 left to go in the quarter. Dell Curry backs away, ties a career high, 33. 20. Hornets have three players at or near double figures, and Dell Curry with a new career high, 35.
It took an entire team effort for a guy to have that kind of night, especially me, a guy who's a jump shooter.
Early start to 6 o'clock. Curry for three more! 38 for Dell Curry.
Another big game against the Bulls. I remember Anthony Mason, as our point forward, at the top of the floor. We had Glenn Rice and I were coming off of screens, and obviously he's going to look to Glenn Rice, the all-star, the guy probably sure led us in points that game.
You guys are talking about how Glenn Rice was such a thorn in the side of everyone in the NBA. Well, listen to this. He has scored 20 or more points 12 times so far this season. In those games, the Hornets are 11-1. That's a good barometer for their success. We'll watch Glenn Rice and how he's doing all game long. Back to you guys.
Shot clock there. You see in the lower left-hand corner. E.J. Armstrong comes around the screen. Dell Curry fakes. Tony Kukoc runs at him. Dell Curry hits a long two with 5.3 seconds left, and the Bulls take a timeout.
But he didn't force it. He wasn't open. Came back to his second option. That was me. Had to wait until Anthony turned down Glenn, and then came to my side. Timing was perfect. One ball fake. I probably hit a couple jumpers, so one ball fake gets Steve Kerr in the air. One rhythm dribble to the left. Here comes the second defender, but able to get it up over him as well, knocked in a tough mid-range jumper. You don't see a lot of those today. I was expecting to finish my career here in Charlotte. It didn't happen. All things happen for a reason. I went on to play in Milwaukee and in Toronto as well. So it's probably good back then not knowing that was my last year. No emotions there to deal with, but it did not envision at all that would be my last year.
2 points for Dell Curry.
This makes the steal. Dell Curry for three. A fast break to set up a three-point shot. Only in Charlotte.
Because I played 4 more years after I left here, I was still in play mode for the franchise I was with, but when my career ended, I look back, I'm like, wow, I'm the leading scorer of the Hornets, and that gave me a little sense of pride. Obviously, playing here 10 years, bulk of my career, the best years of my career here in Charlotte, and leaving this team, this franchise, with a lot of being at the top of a lot of career records really makes you proud, and I'm still proud to be here. Even though I played for the last 4 years of my career out of the city, this was always home. I knew I'd come back here, and my kids obviously grew up here, big fans of the Hornets and everything. Then a lot of friends still here. They were involved in the community and school, so easy decision to come back here, and I'm a Southern guy. This is where I belong. You know, kind of fell into the broadcast role. The team moved. I had retired, playing a lot of golf, coaching my son's high school team. You get a team back, call them up, say, hey, I'm in the city. I want to be a part of the team. It's totally just blessed to still be around. Kind of fell into the broadcast role. I did a couple college games, but the opportunity to call some NBA games came up. Tried it out, loved it. In fact, I had Ed Tepscott, who was the president of Bobcats back then, said, I should have hired you back then to be the broadcaster. I think this is my niche. Like I said, Hornets, it's in my DNA, so to still be involved in that aspect of it, I can't tell you how excited I am, how blessed, how fortunate I am, and I don't take it lightly that I'm still able to do that.